Bonjour, salutations de la Turquie. Uh, Good evening, greetings from Turkey. My French is not good, so I want to continue in English. But initially, I would like to express that I'm very happy to meet you in this activity, Comics and Digital. And as you see, the title is related to virtual and augmented reality and also gamification and in other terms, game-based learning. The software that we will use is Unity, and beforehand I want to make a brief explanation for our audience. I don't know the average level of our audience related to these terms, so before going to develop an application in Unity, I want to explain some terms and the basic knowledge information about the subject. Yes, we can say that we are on the eve of a great transformation. Yes, because there will be a great digital transformation, and when I explain the terms and their explanations, you will understand better what I mean. Okay, all these terms are gathered under the title of extended reality. Virtual reality, in this sense, you are isolated from the real world and you are immersed into a virtually designed world, and it's completely digital. The environment is completely digital, and but in augmented reality, real world environment is combined or mixed with superimposed digital objects, or in other terms, virtual reality objects and designs are taken out from computer into real world. So you mix them, and in mixed reality, you do not only observe them, but also you start to interact on the digital objects. Maybe virtual menu items can be managed with your hand or haptic devices. Yes, in order to develop such kind of application, and interdisciplinary work is needed, and maybe a team, or you will gather all these things. You will have the education, training of all these items to realize if you don't want to work with another one. But of course, it requires a team, uh, experts, expert staff to realize a well-designed production and application. Of course, one of them is graphic design. So, of course, according to your scenario, you have to develop, you have to build some graphical objects and environments, maybe, and according to scenario, whose uh, experts design that scenario, a group of expert is also needed. The expert of that field, in other terms, is needed for this sense. For example, it may be a medical application, it may be education type, or maybe engineering type. So the field or area expert will give us the scenario, and the graphic design will exist thereafter, actually. And of course, electronic devices and technological devices are needed, and these may be additional to your computer, maybe haptic devices, maybe virtual reality headsets, augmented reality, smart glasses, and so on, and maybe mobile devices. And software and coding, yes, I mean, uh, of course, in order to realize your uh, application, you will need an environment, a digital environment, a software where you assemble all these things. And in order to give its interactive character, you will need to develop computer programs, you will need coding. Well, when we go into the details of these components, you can say graphical design or graphics design or graphic design in a way. Of course, they are not. I mean, um, in this area, we are not confined, limited to these package programs, but I can say that these are one of the most uh, frequently used package programs, and AutoCAD, Maya, Studio Max 3D, Studio Max, Blender, Cinema 4D, Photoshop. Platform game engine. So you will, after graphical uh, designs, you will assemble them in a platform or in a software, namely game engine. Uh, so Unity and Unreal Engine are the mostly used, say, cross-platform game engines in today's world. And augmented reality engines are our foundation, our core, our kit, and additionally, you can count Vuforia. In order to have the interactive character or add the interactive character to your design, you will need to write the actions in a computer programming language. And for example, for Unreal Engine, you will need C++, for Unity, C Sharp. In the list, I see Mushroom, and we can also add Pix4D, but these are the package programs, not for compilation or coding, but we can count them in under the list of graphic design because they are mostly used for photogrammetric modeling. And hardware additional to your computer may be listed as virtual reality headset, smart glass, photogrammetric camera, and maybe haptic devices. Wearable technologies can also be listed here. Unity Engine and Unreal Engine are so-called cross platforms. So the outputs of the developed applications are given in different platforms, maybe in PC based in personal computers, maybe in web based web environment. The, the output can be sent to mobile devices like cellular phones and tablets. Maybe it can be recorded in virtual reality headsets. I see, for example, Oculus as metaverse device, maybe HTC Vive, and augmented reality smart devices can also be listed here. The most popular are maybe um, HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens, and Apple smart glass can also be listed here. I picked up some pictures from the internet. You can find more and more. Of course, for example, here we see augmented reality applications. The first one is belonging to medical application. As you see, the graphical design is taken out from computer and it's an interactive application. So others are also, I mean, menu is taken out. In the other one, machine particle and city design and so on. Another augmented reality applications with uh, tablet and with smart glass and again with phone decoration. And for games, this was, I think this was one of the first applications of augmented reality. And augmented reality books are books, you can so called. Okay, some of the examples that we developed. So before going to the examples that we developed, I want to bring you to any more Unity environment. Okay, it's a package program, as you see, and it's an editor, and in this editor we will develop now an application, and according to our scenario we will design a terrain and we will decorate it. The ground will be textured, and we will add trees, a lake, a city, and we will walk, run, and jump through the model. And it can be executable package program. Okay, let's start. Actually, we give this course in our university, and of course, we do not go to the application like this. Initially, I explain the details of the menu items. These parts can be must be explained in other terms. So, of course, we will not do these things because our purpose is not to give a course, and it takes even a semester. And so, within just 1 hour or 1.5 hours, I want to develop an explanation and just to trigger your passion to learn and maybe develop applications in your further studies or research. Okay, now when I click on the right button of my mouse, I have a list of game objects that can be added. Here I want to add terrain. Actually, okay, it is as you see when I double click on it, it is a plane actually, but it's not like this plane. It has fairly good and very nice capabilities. And besides adding this, I saw main camera and light before adding that one. Two basic components or game objects added into the editor, main camera, and light, daylight. Okay, now I can say that this terrain is very huge body. Even a city can be located, even mountains, forests, lakes, so many things can be added. So this is enough large area. I can say it's a great area. And my camera is somewhere here. As you see, its position, it's not attached to the area, so I can play with it. I can carry it, and I can also turn it toward the terrain area. It is very flat now, but of course I will bring some movements, raise. Let me turn it like this. Okay, anyway, because I will not use this camera, so I don't want to deal with it, but I will change the topography. I will add a topography so it can be played. It's very useful. It's very easy to design a terrain, a topography, and add rocks, add trees, maybe other terms. Anyway, so for this purpose, I added beforehand standard assets, which is very useful component or asset package provided by Unity technology, but currently it's not existing in the website. But we downloaded it beforehand, so we have in hand. Anybody who wants to reach at it, I can provide, I can send, I can give. So it includes environmental objects and first characters, first and third person controllers, and so on. Maybe vehicles, some codes, C# codes, and so on. There were some problems, bugs, uh, or in other terms, after new releases, there were some problems with some programs, so they were fixed by us, and that's why I can say that we are able to provide you this package program or package um, asset package. Anyway, and we have a city in hand, and I want to let me check what should I do. Yes, I will bring my city onto the area. So I want to give a topographical character after locating my city. So when I double click it, it will be zoom position. So we see the city. It's a low poly city prepared beforehand, and not that much. I think this is enough. Okay, now as I told you, I want to now design some mountains, hills, lakes, and add trees. Okay, for this purpose, for this purpose, I choose terrain, and in inspector window, I see paint brush types, paint terrain. Yes, when I click on it, it brings a combo box type menu. There are many items as you see, but the most frequently used um, utilities are raise or lower and paint texture. Of course, these can be used also to bring quality, but the most basic terms or say items are raise or lower and paint texture. So let's start with raise and lower because I want to change the flat appearance with this option, and we have a brush here, brush tips. They are different as you see, so they bring an appearance, a different appearance on the field. So let me increase the size of brush, and its opacity is the strength of to make a raise or lower the terrain. Okay, now let's see when I start to press on my left button on my mouse. As you see, it started to give a raise, and as you see, I can do it very easily. So when I click on the platform or say plane, you can generate mountains, hills, and if you say that I should change my tip, yes, you can do it like this. You can do it. Okay, just give heights. Also, I want to generate a place for my lake, and you can change your tip. And if you say okay, I change easily. So as you see, it's a topography. I don't want to touch to my city, and you may click on the left shift button on the keyboard to decrease, to lower the area like this. So I generated an area for my lake. Okay, so I think that much is enough. I changed easily the appearance of the area. We have a city here, and I prepared a base for my lake, for mountains. Yes, I changed it. Maybe this can be a bit lowered. So it's up to you. It, it depends on your personal preferences, you can say. Okay. So when you increase the opacity, it suddenly increases the size. Okay. Like this. Anyway, mountains, hills, and so on. Now I can paint the ground. For this purpose, again, I come here. Let me decrease it a bit. Okay. And here I choose paint texture. And let's come to edit terrain layers. Create layer. While we see suitable files, graphical files, and most of them come from standard assets. But at this point, I want to carry these three simple JPEG files and I bring them to assets. So as you see, I can carry simply. It's a copy and paste action actually. So they are also brought here, and when I come here, create layer, they will also be added in this list. And since I know their name, initially I say, yes, this is green, dark green. When I choose it, as you see, it covered all the area because there is no alternatives. It's imposed, superimposed onto the area. And let's continue, create layer, and I have this brown, yes, also maybe blue. Okay, now I choose blue and close to the base of my lake, and I will change brush size like this so I can play easily. So blue is selected and I'm painting the base of the lake. Of course, the lake base is not necessarily blue, but just to empower the sense of lake base, I colored or painted with this one, and I'm changing the brush size a bit smaller to smaller, and I choose this brown just to give the sense of sand near the lake. We generally make these applications in the courses as well. So just to give, of course, it depends on your understanding. I'm not an artist, fine artist, so according to my understanding, I'm developing such kind of scenario. So it is brought here, there's a path, okay. So, okay, I think that's enough. We could add actually some textures for the ground, like this maybe. but I didn't want to use them because we have to increase the tile size, and is this results in uh, memory increasing memory use, sand, albedo, sand type things. So simple colors are better for my computer, so they will not, what can I say, tire my computer while rendering. Okay, now let's come to trees, paint trees. So you can paint trees, edit trees, add tree. There is no one here, so let's choose by clicking on this point. Actually, not only trees, but all suitable three-dimensional models are listed here. So you can paint all the area with airplanes, cars, maybe with third-person bodies. But of course, I choose this one, and I say add. Okay, it's added to my list. Uh, if you choose mass placed trees, 10,000 trees will be allocated, or say superimposed onto the area randomly, but they will also exist on the city and lake base. So I don't want to choose this one. So simply I will use my brush again. So the brush size may be increased and the number of trees density is decreased because I don't want to add too much trees, because my computer may not deal with that much trees. But let's see how it is easy. So here now on left button will be clicked. So as you see, I'm adding my trees simply. And we can also change, we can add one more type, this one maybe, add, and I choose it, and I don't want to add too much as I told you, but maybe here, maybe somewhere here, just to add a different kind of tree. And as you see, there may be some unexpected or undesired additions, and for this, in order to remove, you click on shift button, shift left shift button, and click on the lake base. As you see, I erase them. I don't know if I have one more or not. That's enough. So we can erase them by left shift button on the keyboard. So we can do it easily. We can erase them. See. Okay, so this may give an idea to you how to decorate the area with trees. Now let me add a lake. It's under standard assets, environment, water, water, water for, yeah, water for prefabrics and advanced. So let me bring it somewhere here, and let's see where it is. Okay, so I should carry toward my lake, and from this position let me go and see where it is. It should be lowered toward the base. This much is maybe enough. Okay. Now I change the size, and I expect that it will follow the topography. It should not exceed the limits of the lake because of the topographical shape. It should be enclosed in the base. So I will arrange its position accordingly. Yeah, I think that's enough. So when you see it, there is a lake here. Okay, and you can observe, you can see the reflections and wave effects easily. But of course, when we start our application, you will also see an animation on lake face, you can say, or redesign it. Okay, now the thing that I want to add now at this moment is a first person character edition. So it is in the characters. So this is standard assets. In characters subfolder, subdirectory, we have first person character folder and prefabrics. As you see, I want to use first person controller. First person FPS means actually this is a term coming from the games. First person shooter. We are not shooting anybody, so you can say first person perspective, and I'm putting somewhere here. I'm bringing somewhere here. I will locate it. Okay. So it is a game object with a camera. It has a camera and it has capability of walking, running, jumping, and so on. There may be some footsteps. Of course, footsteps should not exist. This is not a suitable ground for footsteps. So I will close the audio source. I don't know if you will hear or not actually. And slope limit. Of course, when I want to walk uphill, it may not be a good number for me. So if I say 90, this means that you can walk just vertical wall, up wall. I mean, like a creature anyway. Okay, now my body, first person, is here, somewhere here. It has a first person character with a camera. As you see, its camera is on now, and I want to disable this main camera because I want to see everything from the eye of my character. That character is me actually. And let me double click to see its exact position. It's somewhere here, and let me see the position, its position. Okay, and I will start to, I'm on the road or path somewhere here, and this may be confusing. Just look at from the top to see the exact position. Yeah, and also you should look at from these points. Is it good or not? So you immediately see the result here. Your camera is looking at this side, so I want to turn it toward the lake. Okay, or you can do something like that. For example, you may say that this position is good, and you can change the position align with view like this, so they are identical as you see with each other, and my camera is looking at from this position to that angle. Okay, so you can also play with the characters of the camera as well, but we will not do anything now for the time being. But we may increase the speed, walk speed, maybe double, because the area is great, so they may be coupled. Jump speed is not that much important. Okay, now I think we are ready to implement it. So everything was to prepare this application. Now the application is starting. So far, the things that all we do was to prepare the application, and physically we generated the terrain, we decorated with trees and so on, and changed the colors, we added water, and let's start to play. Play means where we want to apply it now. So this is my application, and as you see, I can walk through the area, and you can see the animation on the water, and we can control everything with my WASD or direction keys on my keyboard, and we can run with shift. Okay, the tree is not allowing me. Okay, so let's come to the city. Okay, I could follow the path actually, and path should meet with the road over there. So anyway, no problem. So I'm running or walking through the city as well. So as you see, this kind of or such kind of applications require a preparation in graphical science in a sense. So this city, even it's a low poly city, it requires a really great effort according to me. And also of course I use some ready to use assets, trees and so on. So these are more realistic, these trees, as you see. Let's walk through the path, and I'm controlling with my mouse and so on. So I have, let's go, we can go inside the lake, and we're walking under the water now, running. Okay, so assume that you have this capability of running through the area. So just think what you can do with this I mean power, or with these kind of properties. So you can do it. You can walk inside maybe a school. There may be some questions allocated in the area to ask about something. So it may be an exam platform as well. And of course, there may be some menu items, and you can change the scenes from one city to another city. You can go. This may be the presentation of a school again, and maybe a mall, and maybe a touristic place. So anything, you can do it with it. And now let me close it. And I want to add one more thing here. I don't know what about the time. I think we spent about 45 minutes. Okay, that's good. So I want to add a camera, and it could be a main camera as well. So I can use the main camera as well. But of course, I want to show you how to add some more camera. And its position is over there. It has a position, rotation, scale, say numbers over there, and let me click. It's looking somewhere. Actually, I want to observe the things changing around me from the top level. I mean, from say bird eye. My actual place is somewhere here. but the camera is over there. So I just want to say bring my camera onto first person controller. So this is a parent, this is a child anymore, and I'm resetting. So the coordinates are identical now, but the thing that actually what I want to do is to observe the ground from top. So I'm changing the position of my camera. While I'm walking, I want to also observe the things from top. Not that way, that place, say not that one. Sorry. No. I think X. Yeah. So I want to observe my, displacement from the top level as well. So while walking, I also want to see what's going on from the top level. Let me walk like that. Okay. So it's up to you. Now there's a problem. I don't see the the view of the other camera. So I want to change first the width and height of the camera. Maybe it's 0.3 and 0.3. Okay. So another thing is related to depth, 0.1. So the depth of the camera should not be identical with each other. Let me bring my game here. Yeah, it's existing here. As you see, this is the view of my second camera, and I think I can turn it a bit more. So I'm turning like this. Okay, maybe 60, maybe 90 degrees. So from top down to down. I think we can change its position from left bottom corner to right maybe, or we can do it, we can let it exist like that. But if you want to carry it to that way, for example, so you can do it like that, 0.7 maybe, so it's on the right bottom corner. So you can add more and more camera and you can observe the things from different views. Okay, now let's start with this edition. So in the game sometimes you see from the top. So this is the way of doing it. As you see, my movements are also observed from another camera. This is my eye. The things in the big screen is observed from my eye, and the other one is provided by the second camera. So as you see, if I put for example a sphere or something like that, you can observe my position from the top. We can also add a drone. Why not? We can do it. And let me check the time if it's not too late. I don't know. I think if I think you have another activity after this classroom, and so I don't want to make you a prisoner in the classroom. Okay.
No, it's okay. We finish with you. So
Really? So this is a good.
so
So I
we
can.
have you until
Okay, for after within 15 minutes, I
until
can complete within
half
15.
past six.
Okay. Okay, so within 20 minutes we can complete, because I want to show you uh, some applications. Of course, I will not be able to develop here, but I will just give you some general information, and thereafter I will show you the applications that were developed in our computers. Simple things, of course, but we have some, I mean, more serious one as well in hand. Okay, so we can add a three-dimensional object, maybe a sphere. Sphere, as you know, sphere, it's a sphere, something like that. It's allocated in a nonsense place, so I just want to bring it, because that circle, that sphere will be me. I mean, my first person will be me, first person will be sphere. So when I say reset uh, for the sphere transform should be reset. Okay, so they are at the same places with the first person controller. So I can give a color so that we can observe it easily. So I will generate a material, and material should be green, not green, but maybe yes, that's better. Yeah, and this will be assigned to my circle, not circle, of course, sphere. Okay, let me make it close to the ground. Okay, so my camera is not let me take it 90 degrees. And where am I? Where is the camera? I'm looking for that. My first person character is here. My camera should be reset. Again, I will change its position. So as you see, my first person sphere and cameras are at the same position, and my camera should be looking down and maybe somewhere here. Okay, let me, sphere is the child of my first person controller. Let me see. Green circle. Oh, it's very small, you cannot see. Okay, so let me bring my camera down so that, as you see, there's a point here, red point. It's my circle. So let's start again. Okay, I am that circle, not circle, sphere. I don't know why I should change my idea. I mean, it's not circle. Okay, I'm confusing. Okay, so you can observe my movement from top as well, and also the big square reflects the view observed from my eye. Okay, so you can control the red. Yes, you can do it somewhere here. Okay, that may be better. Uh, there may be some other things that we can do, but I think that much is enough. As you see, I can see where I am from the top. I don't know. I hope this demonstration is satisfying for such a short time. Is there any questions? So I want to continue with. Let me stop sharing.
Questions?
I was wondering, is in VR, is that how they do like eyesight with two cameras, like
Okay,
in the
okay. Now, yes, good question. Where is virtual reality? This is actually the. Okay, now after preparing it, you will decide if it will be a virtual reality or augmented reality or others. Well, in order to obtain an application, so you have to build it. And let's come to build settings. So you have one scene in hand. You can add that scene into your scene list to be built. Its default platform is PC based. So when you want to obtain an application outcome, output, it will be executable file. Let's do it. I don't know how long will it take, but okay. Now, in order to do it, let's play with the player settings as well. So the company name is what? Say DPU, and let's choose an icon. So this will be a PC based. Let's choose it. It's character.
Jan,
Yeah,
Jan,
yeah.
you have to share your screen because we see you, but we don't see your screen.
Okay. Sorry. Let me restart sharing. Um, let's come back to that point. Okay. Now, in order to obtain an application in the form of executable files, in the form of HTML files, which is web-based application, in the mobile phones, maybe APK type files, application types for Androids. And also, you can send it to Oculus metaverse devices, official metaverse devices. You can send it to HoloLens, which is an augmented reality smartphone. How will you do it? Okay, the question is this, I think. In order to it, let's come to build settings, because obtaining an application means getting or applying a build action. You have to build it, I mean. So I edit my scene here. It was not like this because you didn't see. I added my scene to the list. As you see, cross-platform meaning is this. This list shows which platforms can be, say, the output can be sent to which platforms, in other terms. So this is an executable file for executable files. This is for HTML type files. So you have to switch your platform. So everything will be reorganized, will be calculated by the system, and the output will be in HTML form. And for iOS or for Android type mobile devices, you can also switch to those platforms. Android is hardly used actually for augmented reality and virtual reality. Generally, I use it. Of course, you can also, if you have an Apple device, you have to switch to this platform. And you have to add generally Xcode, which is the compiler of Apple type devices, to get an application. As you see, PlayStation platforms, game consoles, and some others. So you can have outputs in this sense. Well, we can do it here if you want. Okay, let's complete it. Player settings. When you come to player settings, it's not hardly needed, but it's good. I mean, so you give the name of company. So this was the name of application. We change the icon. Okay, let's do it. That's better. And I think there should not be anything to change, because as you see, there are too many parameters that you can play on. Okay, after that, you will say build and run. I don't know if I should say run or not. When you say build, of course, I will not run it. It requires the name of class, or I mean the subfolder. So you should open a new folder, maybe exe or whatever you want. So when you see it, when you choose it, you choose this subdirectory, it will start to generate executable file and surrounding files and subfolders. I will not do it because it may take maybe 5 minutes and maybe more. Instead, I will show you already taken, already prepared, say, executable forms. For example, an art gallery. As you see, we have an executable file and surrounding files obtained with this approach. Okay, let's run it. So this is a gallery, art gallery.
Okay, we don't have a.
We only see
we only see the Unity
Okay,
interface. You have to switch the share mode.
actually we tested a couple of days ago with Sophie. I don't know why it's. Let me check.
Share your screen, not the whole screen.
It was working. A couple of days ago we tested actually, but I don't know why. What happened?
Now we see your screen, but the ancient screen. We see the screen of the Unity platform that you
Okay.
used before. We don't see the screen.
Okay, this is another application developed for virtual reality. This means that you can actually I have a second plan for this inconvenience. I thought that there may be a problem like this, so I have some video records to show you how they work actually. But I want to show.
Zoom. Start Zoom. Is it Zoom?
Actually, when I
It's just not sharing the right file.
so you see this. You see
No,
this.
no, we see.
yes, we're in the
we are
Unity.
in the camera only. We
You,
see
you see that.
with the lake.
Yeah. So I'm walking. Is it?
Yes.
Is it true? Okay. So the just make an imagination. When I build it, you will do it without using this editor. You will not need it because it will be in executable form, and you will do everything that you do in this screen in a smaller size subdirectory. In this one, I mean, this is an executable form, and its size is just 66.4 megabytes, and everything is prepared. And when I just a minute, let me change the screen sharing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Perhaps it will work later, and after that, I mean, okay, I will choose this screen. I hope it will work. Yeah, I hope when I click on exe file you will see the result, hopefully. Do you see?
Yes, yes.
Great. So this is an art gallery. We prepared it, and it is a famous painter who died a couple of years ago in our city. So this building was ready, an asset, or maybe from probably Sketchfab, but I added the spotlights, some plants. I changed the colors, and I added some volume.
Can we see your screen? So we see comment on dit, les dossiers.
The folder.
Do you see the gallery?
No, we see the folder. The folder. Folders extra.
Okay. In that case, I think at this point I can say that the executable files are providing you the things that you can do inside your play mode, but the major advantage is you are not needed. You are not. You will not need to use this editor, to this Unity editor. So anywhere they work. I mean, they can work if it's an output or in the form of executable file, and maybe in HTML file. So you will upload the folder if it was. Let me check. If it was a web-based folder, do you see this? Web-based, web art. You see? You see this screen?
Yeah.
Web art gallery. So this is an output in web-based form, and it's in indexed HTML, as you see. Okay, I think Zoom will not allow us, or I don't know the necessary settings probably. So I will change my screen sharing again to the web our PowerPoint file. And okay, so these are some applications of augmented reality. So this is a model, a photogrammetric model of a city, abandoned buildings, and it's existing in my salon at my home. So this is my home. So the objects exist inside the home, and I use my phone, mobile phone. This is another. So the quality of photogrammetric model is changing. Of course, it depends on the drone that you use. We have also a drone pilot license. We can also scan the area with a drone and obtain a photogrammetric model as well. And also I have a video, you see.
Yes, we see.
If I do this, do you see it still?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any problem? Okay, that's better. You see, this is my office, and the world or Earth is rotating on my table, and this is the computer that I use now. Of course, I have another computer, game computer, but of course, for the classes generally I use this one. And so this is an augmented reality application. And also this is my home, and on the carpet you will see a spaceship, namely Cherno-1 Nemesis, something like that. So animated objects can also be used for this purpose. Okay, this is in front of my computer. Spaceship again. So you can also prepare by yourself this animation and import into Unity, and you build it as an APK type file, which is the executable file, you can say, of Android, but its extension is not executable exe, it's APK. So this is another interesting. You interact with the virtual button. You see this photonic spectra magazine or journal, you can say. So it, according to the finger movements, you push on the or press on button and the animation start. So it senses your finger and starts the action. So it is a bit further than standard augmented reality. It's because you are interfering. And this is another one. You see a screen on the screen of my computer, but this is not a real screen, because I will start to drag it with my finger. Of course you don't see my finger, but with my finger I'm changing the position of the virtual screen. I can enlarge it, I can carry it, I can rotate it, so many things can be done. Lean and touch ability. So I did all these things with Vuforia. Of course, we could do it with our foundation, our core, and maybe our kit, but not our kit. I generally, as an alternative way, our foundation can be used. So, as you see, another video screen is floating in my room. Okay, this is another application for what? This is the this is a view from our hall in the university. So I'm changing the size and position of a car, and I'm walking toward it. I'm walking around it with my mobile phone, of course. But if I had a smart glass, I could do it with my smart glass. So I entered into the car. As you see, we are interacting with the designs, and I'm changing its position. And this is Aizanoi, again on my computer, and this is an antique city in Kutahya, in our city. In my room, another room at home, you see this is also photogrammetric appearance, and you can obtain a virtual reality output for the same, for this one. Now we are inside it, we are not looking from the top. We are inside it, and this screen was divided into two, so you can put your telephone into your cardboard type virtual reality headset. So when you, so this is a video, but of course it's interactive, so you can control your movements, you can go wherever you want. Yeah, we are walking inside the model. So whenever you have a model, you can walk inside it, or you can look at it in your home. So these are different types of uses of the same model. So this model in hand, as you see, it's in hand, but here we're walking in it. And also we can do it with, Unity as well. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem.
It's a pity.
Thank you. It's not your fault. It's Zoom's fault.
So actually, Sophie, she invited me kindly to this action. I would be near you. Actually, I would do it, but unfortunately, I couldn't come. Actually, I visited Marseille beforehand. How many years ago? I don't remember. Montpellier, Toulouse, and Paris. So actually, I wanted to come, but unfortunately, I'm here. In any case, I hope in the next time we will have an opportunity to meet. Also, I want to invite you all to our university. I will be
invited. Thank you.
Thank you. Teşekkürler çok.
You're welcome. That's my pleasure.
Et ils vous voient pas en fait parce que ils sont là, mais
Okay.
voilà.
Bye.
Ok.